Welcome to Onslow County Today. I'm your host, Lisa Whitman-Grice, and fall is in the air. We have lots going on this autumn in Onslow County, and we're so glad you're here to learn all about it. Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and joining us now is Amelia Grissett, Director of Onslow County Veteran Services. Amelia, welcome back.
I am glad to be back today, Lisa.
Now, Amelia, we are going to project a little bit into the future and talk about all the Veterans Day commemorations that are coming up. We live in a community where we are honored to meet veterans every single day, and talk about how we might be honoring those who have served our country this year.
Well, coming up in November, we will have the opportunity to go out on November the 5th at 10 o'clock in the morning at Western Boulevard, beginning at Coastal Carolina Community College and going down Western Boulevard to give honor to our veterans for the Veterans Day Parade. It's a wonderful opportunity to bring the family and the children and allow them to see our veterans that march in that parade, those who have served as well as those who are serving today as well.
You know, as I said, in this community, we hold those folks so near and dear to our hearts. You get to meet those people each and every day, and really you take such, and your staff take such pride in the ability to serve those who have served. We've talked about that so many times. Share with us the range of people that you meet on a daily basis, because I just love those stories.
Well, we are so fortunate to meet veterans, the young ones that are just now getting out, as well as those who served in World War II. We still have some Korean veterans, our Vietnam veterans, the Afghanistan and Iraq veterans. So we have a wonderful opportunity to assist those veterans in applying for VA benefits and to help them receive those benefits that they've already served for.
That they've earned, and that it's the least we can do.
Exactly.
Now, we've talked about the parade. You also have another commemoration, something else that you'll be doing.
Yes, the Disabled American Veterans at 300 Sherwood Road will have the Veterans Day ceremony, and it's always on the 11th at 11 a.m.
Okay.
And it will be at the Disabled American Veterans Hall there on the outside. And it's another wonderful opportunity to say to veterans, we are here to just thank you for your service and the things that you've done for our country. And it's just a great opportunity to bring family members as well as children to these ceremonies so that they see that this is a special time and a special day for our veterans.
You know, I have a dear friend, and he chose to serve and join the Marine Corps because of the stories that he heard his uncle tell about his time in service. And so that idea of multiple generations getting the opportunity to hear those stories and to say thank you as well. I know it's not exactly under your guise, but certainly I would love for you to share a little bit with our viewers about all of the beautiful monuments that have now been established in the county, beginning, you know, we certainly have the Beirut, the 9/11, but we've also dedicated quite a few more, so that is really, those memorial gardens are becoming quite a beautiful honor as well.
Absolutely. The Vietnam Veterans Memorial is an absolutely wonderful memorial as well, and there are ceremonies throughout the year at these memorial gardens. The corpsman of Jacksonville are trying to build a memorial there so that we can honor those that have served and give medical care, have given medical care to our veterans. So it is a really hallowed place, and it's a beautiful place as well. And eventually the Museum of the Carolinas will be in that area as well.
It's a humbling place as well to think about those who have gone before us and who have served so valiantly.
Absolutely.
So we want to, one more time, talk about our 2 dates, November the 5th and November the 11th. November the 5th, remind us again about the parade.
It was the Veterans Day Parade, and it will be on Western Boulevard beginning at Coastal Carolina Community College, and it will start at 10 in the morning.
Okay.
And on the 11th, it will be at 300 Sherwood Road, and that will start on the 11th at 11 in the morning. And if you have any questions about either ceremony or the times, please call our office at 347-3309, and Veteran Services will be glad to give you the information.
Well, Amelia, thank you as always for coming and reminding us that there are many who have served on our behalf, and we thank you for what you do for them.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and joining us now is a former friend of Onslow County Today who has come back to join us. We're so happy. Robert Buckner from Onslow County DSS, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
We've missed you. You took a little time off there.
Yeah, I just couldn't stand it. I had to come back after a few years and get back in the middle of things.
Well, we're glad that you do, because this is something that you and I have spoken about for years, and that we're so happy to be talking about again today, and that is the Elder Cheer program. Share with our viewers what Elder Cheer is and its purpose, and then we'll talk a little bit more about specifically what we're looking for.
Okay. Basically, Elder Cheer is a program that we started at the Department of Social Services in 1997. We were going into the adult care homes, and we saw that there were a lot of people that had needs, and especially at the holiday time of the year, they kind of got sad because they didn't have people visiting them, and a lot of the folks in these facilities have Medicaid, and they can't afford to buy even the basic items. So we started collecting donations, and we have expanded the program over the years, and in 2004, the 4-H clubs of Onslow County joined us, and they've been a terrific partner with us ever since. And so we just take the donations and gather them up, and the 4-H young folks help us put all that together, and we deliver them to the residents of the adult care homes.
You know, I always liken when we talk about those 4-Hers is that they get to really be the elves of the holiday season. We all contribute, and you all coordinate all of this, and then those little elves come together and assemble it.
That is one of the most amazing things to watch. They do this in a matter of a couple hours. You know, we gather things for months, they gather things for months, and they put the baskets together, and the parents wrap the baskets up, and they busily load up our vans, and we're off the next day delivering.
So you're like the reindeer in the sleigh.
Yes, exactly.
They're the elves. Okay.
Exactly.
So we want to talk, Robert, first, as we think about Elder Cheer, who are those residents? Because we all tend to think about just senior citizens, but those that you service there through the Elder Cheer program are not just, they're in assisted living facilities.
Right. They can range anywhere from the mid-late 20s up to, I've had folks that are up to 100 years old or a little bit over 100. A lot of different disabilities, and they end up in facilities because they need additional care. They're just not safe in their home anymore. So, like I said, we kind of lend a helping hand to those folks.
And because our population can be so transient, many of those folks have no family nearby, is my understanding.
That is correct. A lot of them, as they get older, their family or friends may have died off, or they may have ended up in Onslow County for whatever reason, and their family is far away, and they just don't have a lot of contact.
So this is an opportunity for everyone in the community to bring a little bit of joy to them in the holiday season.
Exactly. And we encourage people throughout the year. Go, you know, don't just make it the holidays, because they still have needs, and they'd like to have visitors, if nothing else. You know, call the facilities. If you need a phone number of a facility to go visit, call me. I'll give you the contact information.
You know, I just had a friend who works at an assisted living facility, and she was able to make a connection between people who had been friends about 30 years ago and have reconnected their friendship. So that was a really wonderful story. Now, how can we best connect? How can we best help? What sort of things are you looking for elder chair?
Okay, a lot of the things that we really need are the personal care items. Things that we take for granted, like, you know, we all need shampoo, lotion for our skin. We may need shaving cream, razors, combs, brushes. Anything that you need for your personal hygiene or your personal care, that's exactly what these folks need. They also appreciate if we can get large print puzzle books or crosswords or word finds, large print books themselves, clothing items like socks, slippers, pajamas, you name it. If you can use it, they can use it.
Absolutely. Now, we do have a few things that are restricted, though.
Right.
Certainly want to speak about mouthwashes or perfumed lotions, things like that.
Yeah, we never know who the items are really going to go to, and a lot of them have allergies as far as scents, so we do try and encourage unscented products.
Okay.
And as far as the mouthwash, somebody may have an allergy to alcohol.
Right.
And a lot of the mouthwashes have alcohol, so if we can get the alcohol free, that's even better.
Okay. So, and again, personal care items, comfort items, and then what about things like note cards or a holiday greeting card to tuck in with that? Is that something that's
sure?
Okay.
Personalized cards would be great. You know, you don't have to know the specific name. You can just fill it out and give them some pleasant thoughts during the holidays.
Wonderful. So we know we're a little bit off from the holidays, but we've got a lot of folks that you all need to meet the needs for. When can we start collecting, and where can we drop off things, and then when is the deadline? So some logistics for us.
Okay, we've already actually put out a letter to the editor, and we've already had some responses. People start sending in cash donations. You can certainly start collecting items. If you have baskets that you would like to donate, we will take those. And if you want to drop them off to us, you can drop them at 1915 Onslow Drive Extension at the Department of Social Services. Or if it's a cash donation, you can mail it to us at P.O. Box 1379, attention Robert Buckner, at the Department of Social Services, Jacksonville, North Carolina, 28541.
All right.
And we will take donations up until December the 2nd.
Okay.
Because December the 6th is when the elves get together and put our baskets.
Okay. So you can start collecting them now, can drop them off either directly to your office or the baskets or whatever we might be able to share, or financial contributions toward the project. We have your P.O. Box. We know our deadline is December the 2nd because December the 6th, everything gets put together and that joy goes out into the community.
That's right.
Anything else you want to share with us? What can we do in terms of, if we have questions, if we want to follow up with you, how can we reach you?
Please give me a call. I'm usually available Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. At 910-219-1846. Feel free to give me a call. If you would like someone to come out and speak to a group, we're certainly willing to do that. We love doing it. If you have questions, maybe there's a group that wants to sponsor one of the care homes, because those range from 6 residents up to almost 100.
Very good.
And we have 3 family care homes and 4 assisted living. So if you're interested in doing that, we will take any donation that you want or any assistance that you are able to give us. And the residents just love it at that time of the year.
Well, we thank you for helping the community and reaching out. Certainly we remind civics groups, youth groups, community organizations that they can contribute in a variety of different ways.
Yes. And
not just for the holidays, but throughout the year, bring some joy to those folks who are in those assisted living facilities.
That's true, yes.
Well, Robert Buckner, as always, as I say, welcome back, and thank you for bringing this joy to us today.
And thank you.
Welcome back to Onslow County today, and we have had a very active and busy summer. And Mark Kanellis is here from Onslow County Park and Rec to tell us how we can carry that right into the fall. Welcome back, Mark.
Thanks for having me.
So we are here to talk about several things. It's October, which is always a fun time for you guys. But the first and foremost thing we want to talk about is basketball season.
Yep, we have our basketball and cheerleading season upcoming with our registrations next month. We have 3 registration dates: Saturday, October 8th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., Sunday, October 9th from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., and again Saturday, October 22nd from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
So the basketball program for youth basketball and cheerleading is open to what ages?
It's ages 7 through 19.
Okay, 7 to 19. And is there a fee associated?
Yep, it's $30 per participant, and you just show up with the fee and also a proof of age.
Okay, so a birth certificate or identification of some sort.
Yep.
And what about experience? Do I need it, you know, if I'm 12 and I'm ready to start playing basketball, do I have needed to have played before?
Nope, we encourage all participants of all skill levels. If you're a beginner or you're more experienced, definitely come out and sign up.
And you know, here in North Carolina, we take our basketball pretty seriously, so we could have our next Michael Jordan, right?
Yeah, we hope so.
All right, and he came right out of Park and Rec's program.
That's right.
So we've got Park and Rec, youth basketball, and cheerleading, of course. Talk a little bit about that if you can.
Yep, cheerleading is the same ages, same registration dates as well. Again, no experience necessary. And we encourage anybody that wants to come cheer on the boys, just come out and do so.
So what you have to bring there is lots of enthusiasm and a love for the game.
Yep, that's right.
All right. Now the next thing, of course, in October, Park and Rec, you guys always have some fun things going on centered around your spooktacular and your pumpkin painting. So tell us a little bit about what you've got.
Yep, we have some great activities coming up in October centered around Halloween. Monday, October 17th, we have a pumpkin painting party. We provide free pumpkins to paint and decorate, and we have some goodie bags to hand out as well. So that's a fun activity for the whole family.
Is there a contest or just everybody gets to their best skill level?
Yep, everybody just participates and decorates how you'd like it, and hopefully we can get some cool ideas.
You know, there's so many really cool online things to look at now, things like Pinterest, where you can get some inspiration to bring those ideas with you.
Absolutely.
All right, so you have pumpkin painting, and then what do you have next?
We have our Spooktacular Festival. That's Friday, October 28th, and Saturday, October 29th from 6 to 10. And again, that's an activity for the whole family. We have a bunch of different things going on, from the haunted hayride, the car show, the costume contest, vendors with food and drinks and games. So it's a lot going on.
And you partner with some folks in the community for that as well, your spooktacular event.
Yep, a lot of volunteers and different organizations help us out to put that on.
That's awesome. And last but not least, what have you got going on?
Yep.
You have movie time?
Yep, we have a costume contest / movie day. That's also Saturday, October 29th, and that's at the Carmike Cinema.
All right, so basketball, cheerleading, pumpkin painting, spooktacular, costume contest, and movie.
Yep, that's right. We've got a lot of fun activities coming up. It's going to be a busy fall for us, but a fun one as well.
And what a great time of year, too, because all of the Onslow County parks are beautiful in the autumn.
Absolutely.
The beaches, going hiking, kayaking, so they can come out and play basketball, they can cheer, paint a pumpkin, dress up, get scared a little bit. And then on top of that, you have beautiful parks that they can visit all year long.
Yep, the weather's starting to cool down, and the leaves start to change a little bit, so it's definitely a beautiful time to come out to the parks.
Now, if people have more questions about any of your events that you've got going on, what's the best telephone number?
Yep, we can be reached at 910-347-5332.
Okay, and of course your website at the Onslow County, is it /parks?
/parks.
Okay,
correct.
so at the main Onslow County website, and then /parks to find out all this and more. And you guys have Facebook, and so all kinds of ways we can learn what you're doing.
Yep.
All right, well, Mark Kanellis, it's always great to see you.
Great to see you. Thanks for having me.
And we're going to look forward to, you know, a little spooky stuff going on.
That's right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and joining us now is Katie Lawson from the Onslow County Public Library. Katie, welcome back.
Thank you.
You are technically the branch director at Richland.
Yes.
But today you have a lot to share with us about what's going on throughout the library system.
Yes, absolutely. We have programs going on all the time.
And so at all 4 locations.
Yes.
So we're going to try and cover a lot of that during this conversation.
Absolutely.
And the first thing we want to jump off with is you all are offering a special clinic from legal aid. Tell us about that.
Yeah, this is a neat program that actually we just started, and we're going to have several segments throughout October and November, and it may be continuing throughout the year. And basically they're clinics that help our patrons or whoever may come in, you don't have to have a library card to attend these programs, learn about their basic rights and how to handle them themselves without the use of a lawyer.
Okay.
So it's great. I mean, great information for people. You'll receive some paperwork and information, but make sure to register, we tell people, in order to receive that paperwork, because there's only so many paperwork slots available.
Right.
But yeah, they have everything from child custody and visitation, simple divorce, and even healthcare powers of attorney and living wills, which is a lot of helpful information that may save people money in the long run if they can learn to do these things themselves without the use of a lawyer.
And it's something that touches so many of our neighbors' lives. All of those issues are some things that have in some way impacted.
Absolutely. We have people come in all the time asking for books and resources about these different legal rights issues, and we can give them the books and the resources, but now we can give them more through these clinics.
Awesome. Now, really shifting gears.
Yes.
You have Star Wars reading?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Star Wars Reads. It's actually something that takes place every year.
Okay.
And this year it'll be in Jacksonville. It's going to be on a Friday night, but the rest of the branches will be on a Saturday. And we just invite everybody to come in their favorite Star Wars costumes, including parents and caregivers. Come on and get dressed as well. And we'll be having crafts and games and all sorts of activities that relate to reading and Star Wars. So.
Well, of course.
Yes.
Absolutely. You know, I realized that Star Wars is going to be 40 years old next year.
Insane.
So, and it never goes out of style, Star Wars.
We constantly get asked about Star Wars movies and books and everything, so this will just be another fun way to experience Star Wars.
Fantastic. And then you have an expert coming to see you.
We really do.
A pumpkinologist?
Yes.
Tell us about a pumpkinologist.
Really exciting. I actually had just heard about him, but he's very well known.
Okay.
His name is Scott Stormin Norman is what they call him. And he's the Picasso of pumpkin carving is how they refer to him. And he actually was on America's Got Talent.
All right.
Showcasing his skills in pumpkin carving. So yeah, so he's going to come to all of our locations and he's going to teach the kids how to take care of their pumpkin and carve their pumpkin without making such a huge, goopy mess. And of course, just how to create their favorite, or most beautiful jack-o'-lantern masterpiece. So
that's really cool. That is awesome.
It is.
Do we need to, when we come to that, do we need to bring our own pumpkins?
You do not.
Okay.
We'll have donated pumpkins, and he will be showcasing how to go about doing it.
Super.
So,
All right, fantastic. And then what's up next?
The next thing is actually we have Fall into Reading with Paddington Bear. So yeah, I know. I love Paddington Bear. We just bought a couple Paddington Bear stuffed animals the other day, so I love them.
All right.
So this is in conjunction with the Onslow County Partnership for Children.
Oh, super.
So we're going to be hosting a special story time that day with them, and the kids will actually have the opportunity to meet Paddington Bear. live and in person.
That's
right?
really cool.
It is exciting, and they'll enjoy story times, and then we're going to have a story walk out on the lawn. And now this is in Jacksonville, just to point that out, not at Richlands or the other locations, but just at Jacksonville. But just what a neat way to bring reading to life and Paddington Bear to life, and it's very exciting, and a good partnership as well.
Oh, and having a celebrity.
Yes,
Paddington
exactly.
Bear himself.
I kind of want to go.
That's awesome. That's brilliant.
Make sure I don't have to work that day.
And then last but not least, we go from sweet Paddington Bear to maybe a little bit scary.
Yes, spooky shenanigans.
All right.
This is going to be fun. This is going to be at all of our locations, and of course we invite the kids and parents and caregivers to dress up in their favorite costume. We'll be dressed as well as staff, and we'll be having games and food and crafts and everything related to anything spooky you can think of.
Awesome. Now, the one thing we always love to point out about
Yes.
any of our Onslow County Public Library programs is the fee to attend any of these.
Everything is free. And that's something we get asked every single day. You know, we have people that are hesitant to sign up sometimes because they want to know, how much is this going to cost me? It doesn't cost you anything. Just come on in. Now, some of them, just to be aware of, there are registrations. These particular programs, the only one that needed the registration was the legal aid clinics. But typically, you can drop in and just enjoy the fun for free.
Now, and if we want to know more, the website for the public library system?
Yes, the best way is to get on the website. It's www.onslowcountync.gov/library. If you click on our events tab, that's going to show you everything that the library has going on for the next at least 2 months to 3 months in advance. And it's even color coded, so you can see, you know, blue might mean it's at Richlands and so on. And you can isolate it by library system too, so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And the most wonderful thing is that we do have situated throughout our community a library that you can get to that's convenient for those communities.
Yes, absolutely. Yep, we have 4 locations. They're all over. And we have a courier system, so you can visit all of us. You know, come visit Richlands, drop off your books, and then go to Swansboro.
Awesome.
You know, works for me.
Awesome. Well, you guys have got some great stuff going on, and Katie, it's always fun for you to drop by and share with us what's going on at the Onslow County Public Library.
This is great. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and joining us now is Jacob Farnsworth with the Onslow County Health Department. Jacob, welcome back.
Hello, how are you doing, Lisa?
Good. You joined us last year about this time because your visits also coincide with flu season.
Right.
You're here from the Onslow County Health Department to tell us about the flu, what we need to do. And the first thing that we want to share with our viewers, which is probably some news that has begun to get around, is we are no longer offering the nasal mist inoculation for the flu vaccine. Tell us a little bit about that.
Right. Yeah, so the ACIP, which is the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, is like the reigning immunization group for the CDC. They make all the recommendations, the scheduling of vaccines, and they met and reviewed some data and found that the flu mist this past season was only 3% effective.
Oh, okay.
So next to 0, in comparison to the intramuscular injection was 63% effective for the same season. So because of that, they voted down this year to use flu mist, and so flu mist is actually still available. It's still FDA approved, but all people, which is most physicians, pediatricians, health departments across the nation, follow CDC's guidelines, won't have any flu mist.
Okay, so we're looking at just the injection.
Right.
The injection. Okay, we wanted to make sure that everyone understood about those changes.
Yeah.
And now we really want to get into the details, because this is something we can't avoid. Flu season is you know, here. We want to be prepared for it. And the first thing we always like to explain to our viewers, and have you explain really, is what is the flu? You know, we always say, oh, I think she's got the flu. Well, let's define it for folks.
Right. So influenza virus is just that. It's a virus. It's not killed with antibiotics. And it is a seasonal virus that creeps up in our hemisphere around this time, from the October to February, peaking out in about December, about Christmas time into January timeframe in the winter months. And it's a respiratory illness, a virus that is spread by droplets. So these are secretions that are from coughing, sneezing. When you get flu from another person who has flu.
Right.
And flu causes these kinds of symptoms. The coughing and the fever and the headache and the joint pains and muscle pains. Sometimes people feel like they can't even get up because of how fatigued, severe fatigue. And that's really how you distinguish it from a common cold too, based off the symptoms, is that this flu, it attaches into your respiratory tract and it infects, it's a lung infection. And so those secretions are now coming up with flu virus in them.
Right.
And so that can either be spread on someone's hand, touching another person's hand, inanimate objects, doorknobs, tables, desks, computers. The virus can survive on surfaces for a certain number of hours. So that's a little bit about the virus and how it is spread.
And the way to prevent it, the way to prevent spreading it, are those simple tasks that we all need to remember, because you've talked about those surfaces on which it can live and how it can be spread. So remind us, as always, those simple things that we can do to help prevent it.
Yeah, so obviously the number one thing we as public health want to promote is get vaccinated.
Okay.
So it takes about 2 weeks to produce antibodies, which are the little fighting organisms that the vaccine helps your body produce to fight off the flu if you were exposed to the flu this season. Okay. It takes about 2 weeks to build those up. So you want to go ahead and get vaccinated early, before flu season comes upon us. And then after that, it's very simple hand washing. There's some really great studies out there that they looked at how many times people touch their face in an hour. And you don't really think about that, but sometimes we can, if you pick that up off of a surface and you're eating without washing your hands, or just people naturally touch their face, and you're putting yourself at risk for becoming infected. And so for prevention, those are the main two things that we want to really push, is washing hands. If washing hands isn't immediately available, the hand sanitizer is appropriate. That will kill the virus, but you want to, of course, go wash hands as soon as possible after that.
Okay, so number one thing that you all, of course, want to make everyone aware is vaccinations, and then secondly, the hand washing, and then the use of the antibacterial lotions afterwards. And just being aware, I think that at a very young age, we've taught children, don't cough out, don't sneeze out, use the crook of their elbow.
That's right.
All the tutorials that they get beginning in preschool now, we all need to take on those practices.
That's right.
Now, Jacob, the other thing we want to talk about is how the flu can sometimes morph, and how the CDC works to make sure that what vaccinations that they're producing are the ones that will be the most effective in a season. And talk a little bit about that, because I've never heard anybody explain it better than you do, and about how it can kind of change personality, and we need to be prepared for that.
Right, yeah, so the flu virus, like a lot of viruses out there, has this ability to mutate, and what they call that is an antigenic drift. So from season to season, there's multiple forms of the flu virus that are circulating as well. One that comes to mind and is a good example is H1N1.
Right.
So we all kind of remember the swine flu and H1N1. Well, H1N1 is a way that they categorize subtypes of the flu virus, that specifically being an influenza A virus. There's A viruses and B viruses. All of your A viruses then get broken down into H's and N's.
Okay.
So it's H1N1.
Gotcha.
And the antigen of a virus is its little outer covering. And so when they look at these viruses, this is kind of where my knowledge ends. They're identifying the differences between viruses and kind of labeling them and numbering them. The leading scientists and the board and the committee that decides upon the flu vaccine then looks at patterns throughout the world of what's been circulating, and they choose, depending on the vaccine, there is I still believe there may be a trivalent, which means three strains in the vaccine, and there's a quadrivalent, which is 4 strains. I would highly recommend the quadrivalent, right? More strains, the better. The quadrivalent includes 2 of the most popular A viruses and 2 of the most popular B viruses. And ones that are most virulent, which means are most likely to cause severe disease.
Right.
So there may be other viruses, but if they're not making people really sick, we're not worried about those ones. We want to try to give people protection against the ones we think are going to cause disease and unfortunately cause death. That's another big point that gets left out a lot. A lot of people say it's just the flu.
Right, right.
Yeah, so not only some people do have more mild symptoms, but none of us like to be sitting at home for multiple days with these types of symptoms. You're out of work, you know, and that's another big thing we want to push is you want to stay home.
And not share.
Not share.
Okay.
Yeah, no one wants to give someone else the flu. So if you can stay home, you know, stay home from work, stay home from church, stay home from those social gathering places. What the CDC recommends is at least 24 hours after being fever-free, and that's fever-free without the use of Tylenol and such.
Right.
And even longer if you can.
So it's best to get the vaccination. Then secondly, do everything you can to prevent spreading it or picking it up through surface contact or those droplets that you talked about. And then thirdly, if in fact you do become ill, if you have not gotten your vaccination and you do become ill, it's okay. Stay home and take care of yourself.
Right.
So stay home, don't be out in the public, clear fluids, rest, and then the fever reduction meds. What about if you think you may have contracted the flu and you want to get medical care? I know that we can get tested for flu, but it needs to be pretty quickly.
Right, yeah. So what a lot of urgent cares, even the ER, will utilize is what they've called rapid influenza diagnostics. And this is usually a nasal swab or mouth swab where they can detect each brand, and there are actually different brands of the kit that they use, has different abilities and capabilities on what it can detect. Some can detect whether it is just flu virus, some can say it's influenza A, and some can even break it down. It's influenza A, H,
whatever.
H and N, yeah, whatever. Right. And the reason that it's called rapid and the reason they're used so much is that because they can usually bring results in about 15 minutes. However, not extremely specific. So it's been shown that they only will detect about 40 to 70% of flu cases. So your doctor, if you go and seek medical care, which we do encourage, if you feel like you have the flu, physicians are going to treat based off of symptoms and their clinical suspicion. Gotcha. And a big reason for that is if they want to start antiviral treatments, brand name Tamiflu, the CDC recommends, and it's been proven that they're most effective if started within 48 hours of symptoms starting.
Okay.
So it is, if you do find yourself with a fever coming on and coughing and these kinds of symptoms, it is, like you said, it is good to seek medical care as soon as possible.
As soon as possible. So first things first is we don't want to get the flu. We want to be aware of our own health and take prevention. And there are some special populations that you encourage to get extra care, and speak to those for just a minute.
Yeah, the very young, and I'll use the word very old cautiously, but you know, our 65 and up group, seniors, that's where a majority of influenza-like illness and flu-associated deaths occur, and our pregnant ladies.
Okay.
They're also would be categorized as a high-risk group, and we want our pregnant women to get vaccinated.
And those who might have some sort of any kind of health compromise as
That's
well,
right.
illnesses of any kind. Okay.
Yeah, any kind of immunosuppression. Some people are on certain medications that suppress their immune system. Others have chronic illnesses. Then yeah, they would definitely be recommended as well, because last time I checked, flu and pneumonia related deaths is the 7th leading cause of death in America.
Oh my goodness.
And flu and pneumonia work in tandem together, and one usually and in certain populations can lead on to the other. And we have a lot of hospitalizations across the nation every year because of flu and pneumonia related illnesses.
So we've talked a little bit about what flu is, what we need to do to prevent it in the event that unfortunately we may in fact contract it. But you at the Onslow County Health Department don't want that to happen, and so
That's
you're
right.
offering flu clinics and
Yes.
opportunities. So share with us what we need to do in order to take advantages of those wonderful services that you offer so that we don't get the flu.
Yes. Yep, so we have our flu vaccine in, and we're going to be starting the week of October 3rd is a Monday, and we're going to be starting we actually are trying something a little different, and we're going to have a flu designated clinic. So there'll be a nurse there who will be doing just flu vaccines.
Very good.
Yeah, so we're trying to expedite care a little bit, get people who they know, I just want my flu shot kind of in and out. We understand that there's Walgreens and the pharmacies, and there's a lot of very quick access to flu vaccines, so we want to try to do the same. So we will have a flu only clinic, which is going to start that week, and the hours are Monday and Wednesday from 2 to 4 p.m., Thursday from 8 to 11 a.m. and 2 to 4 p.m.
Okay.
And that'll be every week until flu season's over or we run out of flu vaccine. So, but those hours will be posted on our website. We'll have a flu line. If you call into the health department, you can press a certain option and it'll go over those hours as well.
Excellent. So we can find out more by contacting or by looking at the county website as well. And finally, the last thing I would ask in terms of if we are going to the health department, do we need to bring anything with us, ID? Do we need to bring proof of insurance or anything along with us?
Yeah, so a proof of ID would be great, and if you have insurance, we do bill insurances. We are in network. We do take Medicaid, Medicare, TRICARE, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Cigna, United Healthcare. So we will bill insurances first, but we also want to make sure that people know we do have free state-provided and state-funded vaccine for the uninsured, and that would be for children 6 months through 18 years old, and any uninsured pregnant woman 19 and older.
Very good.
And so you don't have to have any kind of insurance. You can come in and get a free vaccine as well. I don't know if we touched this, the 6 months reminded me, flu vaccine is recommended for everyone 6 months and older.
Very good.
So it doesn't end at a certain age. So.
Well, Jake, you have shared a tremendous amount of information, but so vital this time of year. First things first, get vaccinated. Attempt in all efforts to not share it if you do contract it. And if you do contract it, seek immediate medical attention and take that time to take care of yourself.
That's right.
All right, well, you have shared a tremendous amount of important information, and we thank you so much for coming and talking with us. And again, we hate that we only get to see you at flu season, Jake, but we thank you for the important information you brought.
Well, thanks for having me.
As always, we want to thank you for joining us for Onslow County Today, and a special thank you to each of our guests, Amelia Grissett, Robert Buckner, Katie Lawson, Jacob Farnsworth, and Mark Canellis, all joining us today to tell us what's going on in your Onslow County this fall. It's a beautiful time of year. Get out and explore your Onslow County today. We'll see you next time.